And after that, there is one more topic left in this chapter. We will be covering that, and then we will discuss few questions based on the topics that we have discussed in this chapter. We will be discussing the multiple choice question, and if time allows, we will start a new chapter. All right, so let's start with the revision. So we have in this chapter till now, we have understood the meaning of a statistical inquiry. And other than a statistical inquiry, we have also covered the elements of a statistical inquiry. I have told you that there are 4 elements in the statistical inquiry. One is the investigator, then we have enumerator, then respondent, and the method of collection of data, which is called survey. Okay. Other than this, we have also understood the various sources of collection of data, and we have categorized the sources of data into 2 parts: internal source and the external source. External source can be further categorized as the primary and the secondary source. Primary source is a source wherein the investigator himself collects the information, and the data collected from such source is considered as the primary data, and the data which is collected from the secondary source is called the secondary data. In the last class, we have also covered the various method by which primary data is collected, like direct personal investigation, direct and indirect oral investigation, then telephonic interview, mail questionnaire, and questionnaire by enumerator. So we have covered this, that direct personal in direct personal investigation, investigator himself visit the informant or the respondent regarding whom the information is required, and we have also understood the suitability of this method of collecting primary data, and we have also covered the merits and demerits associated with the direct personal investigation. Then we have covered indirect oral investigation, wherein I have told you that in this case, this method is generally applied wherein the direct contact with the informant is not possible, or the investigator believes that contacting the informant might by contacting the informant, he might not be able to get the accurate answers or information. Therefore, in case of indirect oral investigation, investigator approaches the witness to collect the information. And in this case as well, we have understood the suitability of this method and the various merits and demerits of this method of collection of primary data. Then there is a mailed questionnaire method, wherein the questionnaire is prepared. It is a basically list of questions are prepared on a paper, and that paper is either mailed electronically or by any other medium to the informant or the respondent, and the respondent read the question and fill the information, fill the answers against the questions, and return it to the investigator. So one of the demerit of this method of acquiring the primary data is that this method requires the informant or respondent to be educate. If the informant uh, or the basically the respondent is not educated, in that case you cannot apply this method of collecting the primary data. And we have also understood the mailed questionnaire by enumerator method. Here I have explained that in this case, enumerator is assigned to collect the information, and he is sent to the respondent or the informant along with the questionnaire, and he collect the information from the respondent or the informant and write it on the questionnaire and comes back with the answer and give it to the investigator. All right. And other than this, in this chapter, we have understood the differences between the primary and secondary data. We have also understood various types of surveys, census, and sampling. And in the previous class, we have also understood various types of sampling methods, right? So there are so many types of sampling methods. That is a method by which sample can be selected. So there is a random method of sampling, then there is non-random sampling. All of these, I think we have covered all of these sampling method, and I guess everything is clear to all of you, Samiksha and everyone else. If you guys have any doubt, please let me know, and I will try to resolve your doubt, and then we will proceed with the other topic. So Samiksha.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, Steve. Okay, I presume that everything is clear. Ikra have missed few classes, so you will obviously not understand these things. So I'll share the PowerPoint of this chapter. Just go through the PowerPoint, and I hope you will have a clear understanding about various types of sampling by reading about the different types of sampling methods. All right, so in today's session, we will be starting the last topic of this chapter, that is statistical error. Just a minute. All right, so let's talk about the statistical errors. See, in statistics, we collect. Can you tell me what is the purpose of collecting information? Why do we collect information, or why do we collect the statistical or the quantitative information? Or in simple term, we can say that why do we conduct this statistical inquiry? What is the purpose of conducting this statistical inquiry about anything? Can anyone tell me? Samiksha. Why
So
do
to
we?
organize all the data and to
No, we do not collect information to organize the data. Rather, we collect information to reach to a particular conclusion. We wanted to make a particular
yes,
opinion. Therefore, we collect information regarding anything. All right. So, for example,
yes,
if you wanted to know about the let's say if you wanted to know the sales position of the Microsoft, then you will be collecting relevant information about the Microsoft, and on the basis of such information, you will be able to make a conclusion regarding the sales position of the Microsoft. So we collect information to form an opinion or to reach to a particular conclusion. All right. So and and conclusion or the opinion that we form is based on the statistical inquiry, or you can say conclusion or opinion that we form is based on the items that we select as a sample, and from those items we collect information, and based on such information we make opinion or a particular conclusion, right? So this is how the entire statistical inquiry work, or the basically the investigator makes an opinion or reach to a particular conclusion. But there are situations when the conclusion that investigator has made after collecting information and the actual fact about anything is different. When the fact regarding something is different than the opinion that investigator has made, this is called statistical error. So the difference between the actual fact and the statistical opinion or conclusion is called statistical error.
error.
So a statistical error refers to the difference between, you can say statistical error can be explained as the difference between the collected data and the actual value of the fact. So if the data collected by the investigator during the process of a statistical inquiry does not match the actual fact, then we call that is a statistical error. So in simple term, we can say that the opinion that investigator is making, or the conclusion that we have formed on the basis of the particular information, when it is not uh, when it is not similar to the fact, when it is not, when there is difference between the fact and the opinion that investigator has made on the basis of information, then this indicate that there is some statistical error. All right. So statistical error, you can say the difference between the belief and fact, you can say, is statistical error. The belief that investigator has developed on the basis of information that he have collected, and the fact that actually exists, is called the difference between the fact and belief, you can say, is statistical error. All right. So difference between the actual fact and the estimated conclusion that investigator has made on the basis of collected information, that leads to a situation which is called a statistical error. So tell me, everyone, is this clear? Is the meaning of a statistical error is clear to all of you?
Yes,
All right. Now the question arises, why statistical error arise? What are the reasons of statistical errors? So see, all the errors, all these statistical errors, the reason for all these statistical errors can be broadly categorized into two parts. That error is either arising due to sampling, or it may also arise due to some other reason. If error is arising due to the sampling mistake, you have taken the wrong item as a sample, you have collected less item as as sample, then the conclusion that you will form or opinion you will make will be different from the fact. In that case, we will be saying that this difference is arising, that is statistical error is arising due to sampling error. That means that we have taken less number of item as a sample, or we have taken wrong samples. We have taken items, we have taken those items as a sample that does not represent the entire population properly, accurately. Therefore, the statistical conclusion or opinion that we are making is different from the fact. So when statistical error arises just because we have committed some mistake while selecting the sample, it is called the sampling error. All right, but there are other situations also. There can be other possible reasons for statistical error as well, and those reasons are called the non-sampling reason. Let's discuss in detail what are sampling and non-sampling error. So for sampling error, you can say that these are related to the size or nature of the sample selected for the study. So the items that has been taken as a sample, either those are not correct, either there is some mistake while selecting the sample, or you have taken, basically you can say you have taken the wrong item as a sample, number one, or you have taken only few items as a sample. You have to, let's say for example you are auditing the accounts of a particular enterprise, and for that purpose you need to check the vouchers or the invoices that that enterprise has made. And let's say you need to check the purchase invoices, and there are, let's say there are 5,000 purchase invoices that that particular enterprise has made during the particular year. And in order to basically give your conclusion or opinion regarding the truthness and fairness of the accounts that that enterprise has prepared, you obviously have to check the purchase invoice, value of purchase invoices, whether the value of purchase invoices have been recorded in the financial books of account properly or not. All right, so you have decided to check the purchase invoices because you need to ensure that whether the books of account reflect the true and fair view of the business or not. And you have only selected, let's say you have only selected 10 vouchers to audit the financial statement of the company. Out of 5,000 vouchers, you have only selected 10 vouchers, and on the basis of this only you are going to decide whether the business have prepared the books of account properly or not. So tell me, do you think the the sample size is sufficient? Out of 5,000, if you are selecting only 10 vouchers as a sample, and on the basis of that only you are going to decide whether the business have prepared the financial statement accurately or not, is the sample size accurate?
No, sir.
Do you think that there should be more vouchers should be taken as a sample?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. More should be taken.
More should be taken. At least out of 5,000, we should check at least 500, 600 vouchers, and accordingly we should decide whether the value of all the purchase invoices has been recorded in the financial statement properly or not. And after that, we can properly conclude that financial statement gives the true and fair view of the business or not. All right, so this is what we call sampling error, because you have selected only few vouchers as a sample. So the conclusion that you are going to make might be that there is a possibility that the conclusion is different from the fact. So there is a possibility that there may arise a statistical error. And if the statistical error arises, we will say that this statistical error is arising due to sampling error, because only few items has been taken as a sample. So I hope sampling error must be clear to all of you that these are related to the size or nature of the sample selected for the study. And this can be due to very small size of the sample selected or due to non-representative nature of the sample. You have considered the wrong item as a sample that does not properly represent the entire population size, number one, or either you have taken only few items as a sample. So there can be other possible reasons as well. So if error is arising due to sample, then we will call it sampling error. All right. In case of non-sampling error is just the opposite of the sampling error. In this case, there is the difference between fact and belief. Fact is different and statistical conclusion and opinion is different. So obviously there is a statistical error, but this time statistical error is not because you have committed some mistake while selecting the sample. This time statistical error is arising due to some other reason. So what is non-sampling error? These are related to the collection of data. When you were collecting data, you have collected the wrong data. You have collected the wrong information, and because you have collected the wrong information, so it does not matter now whether you take the sufficient number of item as a sample or insufficient number of item you took as a sample. In any way, in any situation, you are going to have a statistical error. There is going to be statistical error because the data that you have collected is there is some problem with the data itself. So when data collected, if there is some mistake in the data collected, then we say that it is a non-sampling error. So these are related to the collection of data. If there is some mistake at the time of collection of data and wrong data or information has been collected owing to which statistical error is arising, then we call it non-sampling error. Now let's discuss what are the possible reasons of uh, sampling error. Reason for sampling error. Following are the main reasons due to which statistical error. Other than the broad category, we can also include these. See, first is selection of wrong sample. This is covered under the sampling error. So you have taken a wrong sample, and because you have taken a wrong sample, therefore the opinion that you are making and the fact is different. That means there is some statistical error, and this is only due to the reason that you have taken a wrong item as a sample. Then statistical error can also arise because of the incorrect information given by the respondent. Tell me in which category this will be categorized. It will be considered as the
Non-sampling error.
sampling or the non-sampling error. Sorry,
Non-sampling error.
non-sampling. If the information given by the respondent is incorrect, is not giving you the correct information regarding anything, then definitely the opinion that you will be making based on this information is also going to be incorrect. That means there is definitely be the problem of statistical error, and this problem is arising not because you have taken a wrong sample or less number of item has been taken as a sample. Instead, this problem is arising because respondent has not given you the correct information about the particular thing. Then we have the third reason, collection of data by estimate. See, sometime we collect information just by estimating certain things. And if you are collecting the information by estimation, if you are collecting the information, if you are collecting the information by estimation, then there is a possibility that the data that you have collected and the fact may differ, and due to which statistical error will arise. Can you tell me if the data has been collected by estimate and due to which statistical error is arising, this kind of problem will be categorized under which reason? This is a sampling error or the non-sampling error? If you are collecting the data by estimate, this will be considered as the sampling error or the non-sampling error. Samiksha, Arisha, Ikra, anyone? Any idea, anyone? Peer? Samiksha.
No, sir.
Ikra, sorry.
Sampling error.
Sampling error. Okay. And see, what is happening this time? We are not talking about the sample. We are talking about the data that we have collected. The data that we are collecting is based on estimate. For example, I want to survey regarding which toothpaste most of the consumer uses. All right. So I want to figure out that in market what kind of toothpaste customer prefer. And for that purpose, I should visit each and let's say I have decided that I will ask 1000 customers, and based on the information that I will get from those customers, I will be forming an opinion. All right. So instead of going to 1000 item, I have just visited 200 people and asked their toothpaste preferences. And for the remaining 800, I have just assumed that people must be using Colgate, people must be using Pepsodent or some other toothpaste. I have just assumed it. I have just estimated it. Getting my point? I have just assumed that people must be using this kind of toothpaste, and based on this estimation, based on this assumption, I have made my opinion. I have made my conclusion. Is that okay? So now there is a possibility that opinion that I am making may differ from the fact that actually exists. So there will be a problem of a statistical error. But tell me, this problem is arising because I have taken the wrong sample? No, because I have basically collected the data just by assumption. I have
Yes.
assumed figures. I have assumed some data. And because I have assumed certain information, and due to which the statistical error is arising, we will call it what? We will call it this is called a statistical error by non-sampling. This is a non-sampling error. Is that clear, Arisha and Ikra, Peer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, we have the involvement of personal biasness. The person providing the information can be biased. All right. Or the investigator himself can be personally biased when collecting or selecting certain item as a sample. So investor, while choosing the item as a sample, applied some personal biasness. Just like I have explained the judgmental sampling. In case of judgment sampling, what does the investigator do? Investigator select any item as a sample which he finds suitable, which according to him is suitable for making a particular conclusion. So in that case, there is a problem that statistical error may arise. Can you tell me which kind of statistical error it will be considered? It will be
Non-sampling error.
non-sampling.
Sir, personal choosing, like, will it be like a sample?
We have applied personal biasness while
Choosing the sample.
choosing the sample, right?
So that will be sampling error.
That will be sampling. All right, everyone. Is that clear to all of you? Tell me,
Yes,
Arisha,
sir.
Ikra, and P. Okay. See, so we have learned about statistical error in today's session, and we were discussing that a statistical error is basically the difference between the actual fact and the opinion or the conclusion that investigator is making. Or you can say the collected data and the actual data. When there is some difference between the collected data and the actual data, that is called a statistical error. A statistical error can be broadly categorized into sampling and the non-sampling error types of statistical error. And sampling error is due to the wrong sample size or the non-representative item taken as a sample. And non-sampling error arises because of because there is some mistake at the time of collection of data. All right. So there are two types of sampling errors, statistical errors, sorry. And we have understood the following reasons. Following can be the possible reason for statistical error. So with that, we have completed this chapter. We have completed the collection of data, and we will be doing few multiple choice question, and I want each one of you to answer these questions. So give me a moment, just a minute. All right, everyone. So this is the first question. Read it and tell me the correct answer of this question. Use of dash save time and cost. Only those student will only that student will answer whom I will ask. Just a minute. So use of dash save time and cost. P, tell me the correct answer of this question. Secondary data, primary data, or information.
Sir, primary data.
Primary data saves time. Okay. All right. What is primary data, P?
Sir, like, so
Lot of
like,
noise is coming from your side.
yeah, that's guessed in my house as well.
Okay, okay. So just tell me what is primary data?
So primary data is like sending to mails.
No, you're
No,
not
no, direct.
revising at
No,
all.
no, directly they'll ask.
No. Okay, no problem. Anyone else? Anyone else? Ikra, can you answer this? Use of dash save time and cost. Which
Secondary data.
secondary data saves time? Because in case of secondary data, we just use someone else information. The information that is collected by some other person, we just
So then,
use that information to form an opinion or conclusion.
what does primary data is?
Primary data is basically collecting collecting the information by the investigator himself. In case of secondary data, investigator does not collect the information on his own. He just collect the information. He just uses the information which is collected by someone else. So the correct answer of this question is secondary data. Now let's discuss the second question. Misinterpretation and misunderstanding can be avoided by. Arisha, please answer this. Misinterpretation and misunderstanding can be avoided by personal interaction, mailing, telephone, questionnaire.
Personal interaction.
Personal interaction. Perfect. Very good. So the correct answer of this question is personal interaction, option A. All right. Next question, and Samiksha will answer this. Once the question is ready, it is advisable to conduct a tryout with a small group, which is known as. This is something that I didn't explain you, but I guess if you will try, you can answer this. Samiksha, once the question is ready, it is advisable to conduct a tryout with a small group, which is known as.
Sir, I have a doubt between testing and pilot survey.
Okay. So
I think-
pilot survey is the correct,
Yes,
is
sir,
more
pilot
appropriate
survey.
from the
Yes, sir.
statistical point of view. So
Yes, sir.
pilot survey is the correct answer. All right. Okay. Now, fourth question. And
Sir, then
this
what about testing, sir?
testing is also correct, but from the statistics point of view, we will answer pilot survey because pilot survey is the more appropriate term as compared to the testing. All right. So once the question is prepared, we try out a small we conduct the small investigation with a small group. That is in statistics we does not call it testing. Instead, we call it pilot survey. So pilot survey is the more appropriate term. Therefore, the correct answer is pilot survey.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Ikra, please answer this. Dash is also called lottery method.
So sampling method,
Random sampling.
random sampling,
Random sampling is the okay. All right, good. Arisha, which of the following is not a type of non-sampling error? Which of the following is not a type of non-sampling error?
errors in data.
Errors in data is a non-sampling error. It is a non-sampling error. Error in data. Do you know the meaning of non-sampling error, Arisha? Non-sampling error is regarding basically the data that you have collected. There is some mistake in those data that you have collected, and there are certain reasons for that. Like while collecting the information, you were biased, so therefore the wrong information has been collected. At the time of collection of data, respondent was not giving a reply. So because of non-response, incorrect incomplete information or the incorrect information has been collected, or there is some error in the data that the respondent has provided. There is some error with that. So all of these covered under the non-sampling. All of these are non-sampling error. So option D is the correct option because here it is written that difference between the sampling estimate and the corresponding parameter. This is called a statistical error. This is the definition for statistical error. Option D is the definition of statistical error itself. So this is not non-sampling error. Is that clear, all of you?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please ask.
Why is it not non-response? Because if we don't get a response, we won't estimate anything either. So
Yeah, all right. But can you categorize this as a sampling error? Non-response. If some person is not responding to a particular question, then can this be considered as the sampling error?
no.
See what happens now. Sometime we goes to the respondent with n number of questions. Let's suppose you have visited a investigator with 20 questions, and he's not comfortable answering few question out of the 20 question. Let's say he want to skip 4 questions. All right. So in that case, because he is not giving the complete information, so that means that you are not getting the correct information about that particular person because he is not responding to 4 questions. So ultimately, there is a possibility that opinion that you will form based on this information going to be incorrect, and this will create a statistical error. So the question arises that error that is arising is due to sampling error or due to some other reason. Due to some other reason, obviously. So therefore, we will call it non-sampling error.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So option D is the correct option in this question. Is this clear to all of you?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if it's sampling bias, then it will be that the investigator will be choosing a sample that can be wrong also, right? So why can't it be why can't that be a type of sampling error?
Yeah, that is a good point. So I didn't see that it is sampling bias. Okay, for that, I think we'll have to change the options. I have written here sampling bias. I think this is by mistake. I have written that. So if there is a sampling bias, it will be considered as the sampling error. It will be considered as the sampling error.
Yes.
So if there is sampling error, if there is sampling bias, so in this case, in this question, I think option A and option D both are correct. Both are correct according to this question. All right, never mind. Let's skip this question for now. Let's move to the next question. Question 6. Which of the following method gives the better result? Samiksha will answer this.
So census.
Census. Because
It's like we'll take it individually and it will be more accurate.
we get the detailed information. In case of
Yes,
sample,
detailed.
because we collect each information from each and every item of the population.
Yes.
Therefore, there are chances that the information or the result that we will be getting will be more accurate. All right, we will get a better result. All right,
Yes.
so option A is the correct option. All right. Who can answer this? Arisha, the most common type of instrument used in survey is? Which is the most common type of instrument? Samiksha, can you try this?
Option A, questionnaire.
Questionnaire, correct. And also interview schedule. This is
Yes.
also one of the most common type of instrument because say when you send the enumerator to the investigator, he goes to the investigator with the questionnaire as well as the schedule. In schedule, he will be recording the answers. All right. So in surveys, most common method of collecting information is questionnaire and as well as interview schedule. Both are the correct option. So option C is the correct answer in this question, A and B. Next, the questionnaire should be dash to understand and avoid different words.
Simple.
Simple. Simple and what is the definition? What is the meaning of simple?
Sir, over here it can be because avoid different words to understand. So simple to understand.
Simple to understand. Okay. So I think more appropriate would be easy, I guess. Questionnaire should be easy to understand.
Yes.
So I think option B should be the answer. Therefore, I
Okay,
have
sir.
selected option B. All right. Dash is used when the researcher has access to all the members. Arisha, please answer this. Dash is used when the researcher has access to all the members, personal interview, mailing survey, telephone interview, all of the above. Which method is used to collect information if investigator has access to all the informants, all the respondents? Which method he can use?
I think it's all of the above.
All of the above. Okay. See,
Sir,
when yes,
Sir,
Samiksha,
telephone.
sir,
ring.
it will be personal interview, right?
it will be
Because
personal interview.
all
Correct.
the members are there.
See,
Sir,
when the
why it won't be telephone interview?
please read the question properly. See, here it is written that a dash is used when the researchers has access to all the member. So if there is access to all the member, that means that if the researcher can contact all the respondent or the informant directly. So if the direct contact is possible, why he would be calling that person, or why investigator will be mailing the questionnaire to the informant? He can directly go to the investigator and personally interview them. So the correct answer for this question will be personal interview. This is the more accurate answer. Dash is used when the researcher has access to all the members. Personal interview
Okay,
is the
sir.
correct answer. Okay. Next. Question number 10, dash in the statistics mean totality of item under the study. So in statistics, we call it population. The total number of items under the study is called population, as well as it is also called universe. So let's say there are 1000 people regarding whom you required information, regarding whom you want to collect certain kind of information. So 1000 people are in economics, in statistics, we call them population, or you can also call them universe. All right. So the total number of item under the study is considered as the population or universe. So option D is the correct option, both A and B. Question 11. Samiksha, please answer this. Good sample is capable of providing dash information about the population. Good sample is capable of providing information about the population. Which kind of information? Absolute accurate, reasonable accurate?
Sir, will it be absolute accurate?
See, Samiksha, you are applying sampling, right? And in case of sampling, information that you collect can never be accurate, because in case of sampling, you are not checking each and every item. You are not collecting information from each and every item. So in case of sampling, you will always get a reasonable, accurate information.
Reasonable. But sir, then that is also accurate.
That is a different. Absolute accurate, that it basically means 100% accuracy is there, and reasonable accuracy basically means somewhat accurate. The information that we are collecting is somewhat accurate. That means it is not 100% accurate, because 100% accuracy cannot be guaranteed while collecting the information by sampling. Therefore, we use the reasonable accurate term.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So then it will be A and C, right? Because sorry, only A is false and B reasonable accurate.
So B is correct, no? So B reasonable accurate is the correct answer, and A is false. So B and C should be answer.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So B and C should be answer. All right. Next, 12th. It is possible to reduce magnitude of sampling error by taking. Ikra, please answer this question. How we can reduce the magnitude of sampling error?
By taking a smaller sample.
By taking a smaller sample. If we take a small number of item as a sample, then it will increase the chances of a statistical error. Don't you think so?
Yes, larger.
Larger. We should, let's the example that I have just given, that if I'm basically auditing the financial account of a particular entity, and if there are 5,000 vouchers are there, and if I only check 10 vouchers, that means that I have taken a small item as a sample. So in that case, if I want to reduce the sampling error, then I should take the larger item as sample. So sampling error can be reduced by taking larger number of item as a sample. All right. 13th, reliability of sampling data depends on. Samiksha, please answer this. Reliability of sampling data depends upon. Size of sample, method of sample, training of enumerator.
Sir, all of these?
All of these, correct. So reliability of sampling data depends upon everything. The size, number of item you are taking as a sample, the method that you are applying to collect information, the method you are applying to select samples, whether you are applying the judgment sampling or the quota sampling or what random sampling. So the sampling data, reliability of the sampling also depends upon the size, method, and obviously the training of the enumerator. So that means the option D is the correct option. Next, personal bias is possible under which sampling? Ikra. Personal biasness is possible under which? Random sampling, purposive sampling, stratified sampling, quota sampling. Oh, I think you have missed this particular lecture where we were talking about the sampling. So, okay, Ikra, you don't answer this question. Arisha, can you answer this? Personal bias is possible under which kind of sampling?
Purpose of sampling.
Correct, purposive sampling. Perfect. Next, this one is, I think this is the last question. If the investigator wants to select a sample on the basis of diverse characteristic of the population, which method should he use? Samiksha. If investigator wants to select a sample on the basis of diverse characteristics of the population, which method he should use?
Sir, both B and C.
Both B and C. Convenience sampling,
Sir,
quota sample. All right, quota sampling and the stratified sampling, correct.
Yes.
Because in both these methods, we categorize the data into different characteristics. We divide the entire population size on the basis of different characteristic, right? And and after categorizing it into the different group, we select certain number of items from each group. So correct answer of this question should be D, both B and C. Okay, so achha, there is one more question. So there are two more questions, and Peer will answer this. Which of the following factors are considered when comparison between sampling and census method is made? Which of the following factors are considered when comparison between the sampling and census method is made? That means when investigator will be deciding whether he should go for the census method of collecting the information, or he should apply the sampling method, what are the factors that he will be considering? Tell me. Area of survey, accuracy of data, collection of data, cost of collection. What are the various factors that he will be considering?
Sir, area of survey.
You you're not I think you're not revising the topics that I teach in class.
Sir, I do revise, sir.
Keep guessing.
Sir, no, I'm not guessing.
You're not guessing. Okay, all
No,
right.
sir.
Samiksha, can you try, please?
Sir, all of these.
All of these, because whenever you have to decide whether you should go for the census or the sampling method, you basically consider all of these factors. You consider the area of survey, whether you are gonna apply the whether the area of investigation is large or small. If the area of investigation is large, then you will go for the sampling method. If the area of investigation is small, then you will prefer census method. And it also depends whether how much accuracy you will require. If you require 100% accuracy, then you should go for the census method. And if you require reasonable accuracy, then you should go for the sampling method. All right, and cost is also important. If you are intending to incur a high amount of cost, then you should go for the census method. And if there is some fund problem, then in that case you should choose the sampling method only. So all of these factors affect the selection of the method, whether you will choose the census or sampling. All of these factors will affect. Okay, now this is the last question. Under random sampling, each item of the universe has equal chance of being selected. Tell me, under random sampling, each of the universe has the chance of being selected. Equal and equal, zero, none of these. Samiksha, under
Equal.
random sampling, equal chance. So this is it, guys. These were the questions based on the topics that we have discussed in this chapter. And now we
Sir,
will
you
start.
send the PowerPoint.
Yeah, I'll share the PowerPoint. I will share with I'll share this PowerPoint with Nishkarsh, and he will be sharing with all of you. Okay, so now let's start the next chapter, organization of data. Just a minute. All right, so this is the new chapter that we'll be discussing, and that is also from the statistics. So in this chapter, we will be talking about how data is organized. This is about organization of data. The data in the previous chapter, we were talking about how data is collected. Now we will be talking about how data is organized. So I guess time is almost over. So guys, we will be starting this chapter in the next class. All right, so is that okay with all of you? Arisha, Ikra, Peer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so organization of data, we will be starting this in the next class. All right, so this is it for today's session in statistics. We will take a break of 5 minutes, and then we will continue with the accounts part.
Yes, sir.
So Ikra and Adisha can leave the session now. Okay,
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
thank you so much.